Hi, this is Ming-Na Wen, and you're listening to Fanatics and the Fan.
All right, folks, we are back. Another great episode of Fanatics and Fan. In honor of Black History Month, I've got to me gathered up some of the greatest Black nerds in the area. Introducing first, starting with my direct right. He is a gamer, a cosplayer, a wrestling nerd, and recently realized that he's an incredibly old man and probably has carpal tunnel syndrome from reading to me comic books. Please welcome back to the show. What up, Will?
Hey, everybody. It's good to go be here. It's good to go to recognize that I am a senior, I'm a tenured member of the Black nerd community.
Also joining us is an amazing artist. Honestly, he on a level of nerddom at a very young age of barely old enough to drink. He draws and buys more stuff than anybody else could. Please welcome back to the show, Mr. Gary Bedell. Now, Gary, tell us about this background behind you, man.
Oh, my background? This is my toy collection.
How do you get any work done?
I have to face this way. That's why I like to face this way. Because then I'll get all distracted, like, oh man, that is a really cool Han Solo, and I want to look at it.
And of course, the strongest thumbs in all of Black nerddom from real otaku gamer, Mr. Andre.
What's up, people? How's it going?
And not last but not least, he is the movie mecca of it all. Without him, none of this would really exist because we'd all be talking to each other. Keith.
Hello, people.
They call him K Google on the streets.
Hey, Google.
and that is the voice of money. That's my nickname. Hello, money.
Yeah. And Google for the children.
So, it's funny. We decided to do this for Black History Month. We've done this a couple of times before, for Black History Month, because we've been trying to do this for Black History Month for a while now, I'll be honest with you. Fanatics and Fans been around for a while. You've all been on the show before. We've been trying to do this for a while. And I remember, I tell you this because it was the first joke me and Will and Gary ever had. I don't know if anybody remembers this. We were at game, which is one of our favorite places to be. Big ups to those of the Gaming Arts Media Expo in their last year. Make 2022 a great year. I hope to see you all there. But me and Keith and Gary were sitting at a table talking, and Keith goes, all right, y'all, we've been together 5 minutes. And there's three of us. Ready? Break.
I was trying to look out for you. I was just trying to help.
If something bad happened, then we're all gone. This is the entire siege.
Hey, if that building had mysteriously just blown up like an Independence Day.
Yeah.
Black nerddom, at least in this area, is just gone for at least another 30, 40 years at least.
So, not to get sentimental, but I will anyway. When I look at the screen, first of all, I see, seeing Will grown up is just mind-boggling. Seeing the addition of Andre and Gary is just awe-inspiring because it means that there's definitely going to be something that happens after the three of us. And the fact that, and I'm going to start with the top, the three of us at the top. How many cons have you been the only Black person there?
How many events?
Yeah, how many events have you been the only Black person?
Oh, dude. Oh, man. You have, I went to an Activision party in E3 in Atlanta, and there was Bruce Willis was there promoting the game. I forgot what game it was. What game was it? I forgot what game it was.
It's called I Got Paid.
Right, something like that. Apocalypse, something. So as far as a Black game journalist goes, I started, in the 70s, and when I started going to conventions in the 80s, I was always the only Black guy there, one of two. And then I went into 1999, I ran into we went to that party, and I'm like, okay, there's another black dude there. Or he's another journalist. Oh hell yeah, we went. You know how that goes. Yep, you had to beeline, and come to find out, we met, we talked, we hung out. Hadn't seen the guy in years. I start my site. We start podcasting. I get back into the game industry again. First podcast I'm on, he's there, and I'm like, dude, you sound familiar. Did you go to E3 in Atlanta? Yeah. You go to? I went to the Activision party. Me too. I was like, oh shit, there we go. It was me and him, and that was 25 years later. And it's like it's always been like that, man. It's like it's always. Now I'm like right now I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the game journalists now, the black game journalists now that have catapulted to the. I mean, it makes me cry sometimes. I think about it because I've been in this business so long, man. It's like I've always been the only black. I'm flown out to Capcom. I'm flown out to Konami. I'm flown out to Nintendo. I'm flown out to Sega, and I'm the one of two, maybe three black dudes there.
Is it first class or?
Oh yeah, it's first class. I don't do that. I don't. The first one was coach. I went no, never again. If I'm the only black guy here, you gonna pay up, brother.
Well, it's funny that you said that about a party that you were at which show was that?
That was at E3.
E3. Yeah. I was at GDC in San Francisco, and we got invited to the Adult Swim party, and I was the only black guy there. And that's crazy. This is San Francisco, and like you'd expect more people, to be at.
And Adult Swim is out of Atlanta, and Adult Swim is out of Atlanta. Why would you be? That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like the only dude there. I think the only other person there was someone that was working there. That was
right.
And it was just me. And I was like, oh, man, really?
How long ago was it?
This was 2012.
See, that's terrible. My stuff was in the 90s. There was nobody.
Yeah, this was like 2012.
Like right now, like at E3 right now, we have an actual black gaming journalist section.
Nice.
We have our own room where we go in and meet up and stuff like that. But I was so proud of it just to see people there. Now there's so many sites, there's so many podcasts and stuff right now. But I was like, just to see, that's crazy.
Because I worked I work in gaming still, but like I worked as an artist working on a lot of stuff for Game Boy Advance, DS, and all that stuff.
Right.
And, man, there are not a lot of us. Well, there weren't a lot of us artist-wise in there.
Guys, I was at a convention, and I was a guest of a convention in 2018. Not only was I the only black person guest there, I was the only black person with a table there. I went on to get into the costume contest, and I decided because I was trying to debut, and actually this was the second time I debuted it. I was my Great Worm costume.
Right.
So because now I'm a black cosplayer playing a black character, and I won, and I swear to you, I won because I was a black character. They were trying to diversify the convention, but yeah, this was 2018.
That's
yeah.
When I see that, I hear people say it's like this was 20. I'm like, no, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
I will say this. Where you do see a lot of black fandom are at anime shows.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's where the next generation is. That's exactly. They all made a beeline for anime.
That's one of the reasons why I like that character. We were talking about this in the last show. That character, the new character they introduced in Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
And what they did with that little boy in his first couple of episodes, and of course the transformation was even big ups to the actor, first of all, because where he started at episode 1 and where he finished at episode final, God bless America. But what they put him through as an actor, which is, and Keith will tell you that sometimes actors don't want to give into that. They want to not be embarrassed. They don't want to look like a fool. And his first 3 episodes he was playing one of us. Hardcore, and it was great. I didn't know where they were going. I will admit, I was like, where are they taking this? Because there's a lot of they could have taken the easy way out. And that's what I thought was getting ready to happen. And they did the exact opposite, and it was great.
So I remember
I've said this a lot, and this is my first question in this particular show. We don't always get the dynamic characters, like your Jokers or your Hannibal actors. We don't get those.
Well, actually, if you watch Batwoman,
So
Fire.
Which I've been told by you to avoid. So
Black Joker is what they've debuted.
Oh,
so
God
we've reached the bottom of the barrel.
They did?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Was it played by Lakeith Stanfield? Because that'd be pretty awesome. That's
you know what? That would be kind of dope, but you know.
It's not that good. It's not that good.
All I'm saying is as years ago, we could have had like Harvey Dent was a black man years ago. Yeah, we could have had Black Two-Face.
Yes.
No, can't have that.
No.
You got to get the comic book now. You got to get the Batman 89 comic for that.
Yep.
So,
No, they didn't put that much thought into it.
Let me get to my question because I've asked this question in the past, and I will lead it out with my answer. To me, one of the most dynamic villains that Black nerds have ever been given was from Firefly, and that's Jubal Early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, Gary, if they had given him, because he was coming back. Could you imagine how great that character would have been if Firefly had continued on? I mean, he was good. First of all, he got to show schizophrenia, which they don't give us that.
No.
They give us drug dealers and pimps.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even call Jubal though a villain. I mean,
the thing about
Firefly is you had to have antagonists, not so much villains. And Jubal is someone who, just like in the film version of Firefly, what you had were people that believed in the cause, not so much twirling villains.
Jubal was a bounty hunter. He ain't believe in squat but money.
Well, in the cause of money. But that's the thing. I didn't really make him a villain so much as just someone who was out for the money. I put some more square into the Boba Fett category than in the Darth Vader category. So
I will revise the question. I will revise the question a little, because I like calling Jubal a villain. I don't mind calling him a villain. And to me, he was one of the best.
Yeah.
But I'll revise it to say your favorite minority antagonist. And I will start with Will, whose wheels are turning. I can see smoke coming out of his ears over there.
So first, just a little side note, we can circle back around to this. I just want to go and point out that the best villain is someone that thinks they're not a villain.
Right. Yeah.
So
you're not wrong.
You're always the hero in your own story. That being said, I got to go just a couple years back, and I love the character that was played by Cottonmouth. Yeah.
Oh hell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There you go.
And I will say, I personally feel like Cottonmouth was a villain. But everything about the way he was played, first of all, as an actor standpoint, I would have chewed that shit up. And not for nothing, but that's exactly what he did. My God.
I'm doing this to make sure that I can take care of my folks. I can take care of the people here. I can take care of this because I can.
Right.
Dre.
It's gonna sound cliche, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of crap for it. Amanda Waller.
No, she's a good villain.
Hold on.
Amanda Waller's an awesome villain, dude.
I mean Amanda Waller, just hands down. Just
how are you gonna look like someone's auntie and be dangerous as hell?
Right.
Like that.
Got Anita Baker on while
hey
she's
man,
trying to shoot at you. Come on now.
Before she goes to work, she takes the apron off, man. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
Just frying up stuff in the kitchen, man. She said, I gotta go handle some business. So I mean,
there are a lot of variations of Amanda Waller that I absolutely love. And there are versions of Amanda Waller that I can tell are written by someone that is not a person of color or female.
Yep.
And it bothers me when you can tell that. Gary.
Two characters played by the same actor. Moff Gideon and Julian from School Days.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, because if you look at the parallels between the two characters, it's really crazy, man. Giancarlo just plays like an awesome villain anyway.
Right.
And
I'm gonna be cosplaying him this year, just because I want to have a dark saber.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be cosplaying the guy from School Days. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, thank you.
But yeah, go back and watch the Spike Lee movie School Days, man. He's a great. Yeah, I think he's the villain of that movie. To me, he's a villain, man. Like he is a straight evil person in that movie. I don't know how recently it's been since you guys have seen that.
Got you.
Man, Julian is a messed up character.
Keith.
You know what? This is gonna sound weird unless you've not been reading the comics. M'Baku.
Dude, M'Baku is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, if all you know is the movie,
right,
Black Panther, you have got a lot of reading to do in the comics.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is that
not to knock the M'Baku that we got in Black Panther. Okay, that's not what
in the film.
Not
to knock the version that's on film.
Right.
And it's obvious to say Killmonger, but M'Baku is a villain who many times has crossed paths with T'Challa as the Black Panther. And there are others. I mean, in Spider-Man, Ned Leeds is eventually going to be a villain. You know, I just think that it's hard to come up with good, solid Black villains. It's hard to come up in the same way that it's hard to come up with good, solid Black heroes. You know, when you don't avail yourself of what is available and what has been created by people, then you find yourself with limited options. I still don't see anything that anyone is doing in Hollywood right now to bring forth the work of Samuel R. Delaney. I'll give you guys a moment to Google who that was or is.
But before we do that, I need to do something. As I said earlier, folks, I want you to welcome and thank for watching the very special Black History Month edition of Fanatics and Fan. And I get to make Black history for the first time by introducing someone that I've been dying to have on my show. Getting together Black nerds, first of all, is like getting together a bunch of Black people. They're always late anyway.
Man.
Please let me welcome arguably one of the most talented actresses in our area. And I get to introduce her and then ask her the question that she's been listening to. Please welcome to the show, Miss Sherston. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing well.
We're talking about dynamic Black villains or antagonists.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard some of the answers. So I'm interested to see what you have to say.
Well, I read a lot of fantasy fiction, so I'm not a huge comic book fan. But as far as fantasy fiction, you're seeing a lot more a trend toward having own voices come forth. But those worlds are all Black characters mostly. I think traditionally there hasn't been very good representation with Black villains, so I don't really know if I have a favorite, just because the world of high fantasy fiction is usually just a bunch of like elves, you know, so it's not really seeped with a lot of diversity traditionally. So I don't know if I could list one off the top of my head that's a favorite from like my own genres that I read, Black fantasy villain that I can think of that I'm really strongly for.
That was a better answer than what I gave, so I'm happy with it. Hey, although I will say let me
tell you guys this though. You guys forgot one.
Go ahead, Gary.
One villain that we all forgot and slipped up on, and you guys are gonna be like, "Oh," when I say it, Candyman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say it again. Hold
on. And please turn your echo off. We don't want to do that.
Can I just say that I think
does reverb count?
Right, reverb. Turn the reverb off.
Thanks, Gary.
Can I just
it's good to be back.
One of the most talented person in Black nerddom. Every time I see Tony Todd, I'm all excited. I'm all in.
Oh yeah.
I I wish he had made better career decisions and been given him more chances. Could you imagine if Tony Todd had been given Rhodey?
Why should
He's
he be
younger.
given Rhodey when you still have an entire universe that's still yet unexplored through
Right.
milestones?
I think that he's actually so-
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't mind seeing him as Voodoo either, though.
Yeah.
That would not be
Yeah.
terrible.
It wouldn't be terrible. It wouldn't be terrible.
It may not be good either.
I hate that we had to scrape the bottom of the barrel, but I mean, it wouldn't be terrible.
Hey,
It wouldn't be terrible.
Even
No,
now,
I'm just
have you been
saying.
watching,
No,
Young
I'm just
Justice?
saying. Yes.
Okay. Although I will say this, I think Young Justice has gotten a little out of hand. I still like
How
it.
so?
It's dude, right now, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on right now.
And
I'm
there's
like,
the
what are
answer
you
to that
talking
question
about?
of why.
Young Justice. I'm like,
Young Justice.
It's too all over the place right now.
I get it. I
sporadic.
do understand that criticism, but they again, for me, they are still the best out of all of the animated
Yeah.
to comic, from comic source type of animation.
Yeah.
They are the most diverse,
And
and they've
still,
had
to
the
me-
opportunity of presenting a lot of Black characters
Yeah.
Right.
that have never really been given a true chance in
I just
animation.
wish they'd have done more with Icon and Rocket.
I
I
wish
still
they
think-
had too.
I still think that Young
They were-
Justice is by far the craziest story I have ever heard.
It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's like each season had a focus.
No, not that part. Not that part. But
just
why they
because-
were canceled.
Oh well, yeah. Well, we don't want to get into that because that was just,
That way lies madness.
I'm still going. Why? Wait a minute. What
It's
the
the
rating?
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It was one of the highest rated shows on the
Yes.
air
Yes.
at the time,
Yes.
Followed by Green Lantern.
and then it went. Phoop. I'm like,
They
wait.
used the Fox method.
Yeah.
Good. That's too good. No, give me that. Let's just.
It's
put
too
that
good.
over
It's
here.
too good. We got to get rid of it. Yeah, it's too good.
I would like to argue Lovecraft Country here, folks.
Oh,
Lovecraft
yes,
Country
yes.
didn't get renewed for
Oh,
a second
I don't know.
season, even though it won like 9
Man.
awards.
HBO's been dropping the ball so much on that stuff.
Oh,
I just
geez.
like
I can't believe
Watchmen, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
Watchmen was dope.
I'm
Watchmen was
like-
better than the comic was.
Yeah, Watchmen was dope. Lovecraft Country. I'm just like, what? What?
I'm
Wait.
all here for Lovecraft Country.
Oh
season two.
man.
If they ever decided to just the
Just-
way they left
Speaking
that
of-
was criminal.
Just
Speaking of
do
HBO,
it.
you know who I'd love to see, like director-wise, kind of cross over into doing like fantasy and like, I think she'd probably do better with Marvel than DC.
Mhm.
Is Issa Rae. Like she is just so
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like she can write and do anything. Like I watched Insecure from season 1 through season 5, and
Mhm.
she's brilliant, man. And
They
I would
have a-
love to see her tackle.
She has an
something.
animated series coming out, or she's announcing it or something.
Oh, no, she should. I'm glad
It's
she's
an animated
doing something
it's an
like
animated
that.
series. It's a bunch of there's a lot of Black actors now, or say actors. I hate actors of color. God, I can't stand that. Actors of color who are using their success to really bring out the stuff they want to see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Jordan, Will
it's kind of
Smith,
yeah. And like, even though I'm kind of I don't know about that
Elaine
Fresh
Hill.
Prince. I don't know about that Bel Air, man. I don't know.
I
about
can't.
that. I don't know about Bel Air, but I applaud
Listen
him.
now, hang on. I mentioned Will Smith because of Cobra Kai, not because of Bel Air.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, I'm about to say because I'm.
Well, and think, guys, what about horror? Like
Yeah.
it seems like we're just now as Black creators like squeaking into that with like Jordan
Mhm.
Peele and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a few others, man. And I really would love to see more expansion on that. Like I'm even in that industry from working for
Mhm.
Crypt TV and doing stuff like and Jasmine Johnson. If you're watching out
Right.
there, Jasmine Johnson, what's up? But even working with her, it's like we're slowly but surely getting into that industry. Because I remember being younger and I didn't see anyone who looked like me working on Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th.
No.
I mean, we were getting killed like motherfuckers, but that's
Right.
about it.
Even
You
though
got
we're the
about 5
first
minutes.
Even though we're the ones that are saying, hey, you know, this is getting kind of weird. Why don't we leave? Yeah, we're usually the first one out.
While the title of the movie is at the beginning of the movie. We shouldn't be here. I don't think this doesn't look right.
That's why we're usually the ones driving the kids there to the camp and then leaving right after.
That's like, hey, man, check this out. I'm gonna leave y'all outside of this camp. I'm out. Yeah. I'll see y'all. I'm out.
But come on.
So
that's true.
It's like what was the comedian?
Eddie Murphy.
It's like
Amityville.
Yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
I
guess we gotta go.
Keith, I'm gonna give you this. This was something I've been talking about for years. I was talking about it it was a joke, but I actually really want to do it. It's a movie series basically called Pack Your Shit. It's called Pack Your Shit, and it's all about Black families who get caught in these situations. And like, oh, there's a ghost in the house. Oh no, we out. And then it's like a web series, probably gonna be like 30 minutes long, because that's all you need.
And you can also classify it as an educational series.
There you go.
That way you get more.
It's an edu series. Man, I'm loving signing this deed. This is gonna be dope. Oh man, woo. Oh, we need to tear this up. We need to go. End credits. Boom. Yeah. But I mean, it's just, I think I like the fact that we do get representation. I just got into arguments with people about gaming. I'm like, okay, now I understand that because I have a lot of friends who are getting promoted in businesses and in the game industry and stuff. And I'm sitting there going, wait, what promotion did you get? Oh, you're the head of cultural. Yes. I'm like, wait a minute, They created a job just for you? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you get in the bag. Okay, I get you. But what's the job?
What are you doing?
I mean, I'm just like, what do you? No, and the thing is,
with that opportunity,
I applaud the people who got the job. I know they're good people, but I'm like, they created this. Just what? Where'd this come from? Where this? Oh, so you didn't get story editor. You didn't get head of programming. You didn't get. You became the cultural liaison, or what's the one? One's the diversity
president of distraction.
Right. Yeah. You're the diversity head of, I don't know. I'm just like, wait a minute.
Sensitivity advisor.
There you go. I'm like, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, okay.
But here's the thing that makes those positions kind of scary, though, is that I feel like companies and organizations sometimes create that, and it's not like they have it like stitched into the rest of the company. They almost make it to where they can cut the tether off whenever they.
It's not organic. It's not organic. Yeah. And that's what I'm sitting there going, is this? I don't like forced inclusion.
Yeah, because that's the first thing they'll do.
Forced inclusion is worse than no inclusion at all.
Right.
And then how much say do they have?
Those meetings, it's like, oh, we need budget cuts. What's the first thing they're gonna do?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
And then my question is, how much say do they have from that? Because if you're an advisor, hey, I think that we should go and do this. I thank you for your input, and now we're going to come over here and just continue doing what we're doing.
That's why you're an advisor. We're going to take your advice and go, no, we're going to throw that in the trash. We're going to keep on.
And then when it catches on fire, they go, oh, we should have did that thing you said.
Right. You think?
You think? When it goes bad, what they do is they blame that advisor for not being loud enough in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I see it in the game industries, especially in the last 3 years, man. I just see, and it's like, my friends a lot of them I know these people for years. They're all talented. They're amazing people. But I'm like, this job wasn't here last year.
Yeah.
This position.
It's almost like the new age tokenism, like to kind of appease and quiet
There
people.
you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Nail meets head. Perfect. That's it. And I'm just like, I'm still grinding, doing my thing. I'm not even worried about it. I've been in business so long. I don't care about getting a position in the industry. I don't care. But I'm like, I'm seeing my friends do it. I'm like, I'm proud that you made this stride, but you're not even remotely the head. You're not even over the department that they put you in.
You're right.
You're the only black person in the position, but you're not even the head of the division. I'm like, you're just there. I'm like,
the illusion of kind of thing.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what when you're talking about when you're talking about anime. When you're talking about anime, and I don't know how many old school anime heads like me, but or
right here, baby,
or understand the culture. I was like, well, you gotta understand. I said in Japan, they base their whole racial sensitivity on the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
They see what the rest of the world's doing, and they're going, oh. I said, I was telling my friend, I said, do you not remember the Japanese trend where everybody was tanning their skin and dreadlocks was a thing?
Yeah.
Tanning your skin and looking Jamaican in Japan was a thing for like 2 years.
Yeah. I buy the Fruits fashion book and it's all in there.
And I tell people, they said, wait, what? I'm like, do you not know that? I said, Japan, the reason and my girlfriend was asking me, my friend was like, I don't understand why is Japan so advanced? I'm like, it's the same way that Atlanta is the tech capital of the US, because we burned them to the ground and they had to build from scratch. We the US, Japan hit Pearl Harbor. We decided, we're just going to kill millions of people and make them start from nothing. So that's why they're surpassed us and everything, because they looked around the rest of the world and went, that's nice, but I think we could do that better. You know what? That might work, but if we do it this way, it will sell better. And that's why they took over. And I was like, that's how anime. I mean, you can't. I had to agree with people all the time. But that's a cartoon. No, there's a cartoon.
There's a difference between
and then there's anime.
Goddamn anime.
It's a cartoon. There's animation.
True.
It's a cartoon animation. Then there's anime. All different things.
You know how you were just talking about the dreadlock thing in Japan?
Yeah.
Did you guys see like the Chicana style that's like really popular in like Korea and Japan? Like
where
they dress like, the like West Coast like Chicanas and stuff. And it's like, that's really crazy. Like how much they borrow from it, like our styles and stuff.
That's like as much as I love Japan and I love Japanese culture and I've been immersed in it forever. I'm just like, but I said Japan just copies everybody else. And they do, they created the tanning pill and all that crap back in the day. And I'm like, I said, but they're trendsetters, but they follow trends so much. I mean, you can go over there. I have
who else has a working Gundam in the world? Show me who else has a working Gundam.
Yeah. I was telling my girlfriend, I told her the other day, I said, I have friends in the 90s. I have friends who went to Japan. I have a buddy who got paid because so my buddy works at this company. Japanese businessman came over. I'll make it short. Came over. They didn't understand what the guy was talking about. They didn't understand his slang, basically slang. So they were like, well, how do we need to learn how to understand what you're saying. So they hired my buddy to go to Japan and teach businessmen slang.
That's
just
awesome.
like 1992, he got paid to go over there and teach them slang.
Wait. I missed out on that job.
Right?
Oh man!
And it's like,
the record. If they had sent Keith over there to do that job, he came back with that working goddamn Gundam.
And listen, man, I'm not talking about they flew him there and gave him some money. No, they flew him there, gave him a place to live. They gave him a car, even though you had to have a place to park it before you could buy the car. The company bought the parking spot. That's his. He has a translator before he learned Japanese. They paid the translator to hang out with them the entire time while he worked there.
Oh God!
Doing something wrong in life.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, this is crazy. I said, that is crazy. When you told me about it, I said, that's nuts. But yeah, to adapt, they did that. And I'm like, this was in 93, 92, 93.
That's crazy.
And I was like,
willing to do that.
All right.
Yeah. But I mean, like anime, they look at the way they do anime. I mean, thank God there's the black anime studio now.
Yeah.
But the representation was basically based on what they looked at the world.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, folks, you guys have been watching a very special Black History Month edition of Fanatics and the Fan. I have been honored to pull this off. This has been a long time coming, y'all. Long time coming. Will, final thoughts.
Oh, I would like to say, everyone, I do appreciate you. I appreciate everyone on this call, and I'm thankful that we have a chance to go and get together and talk. Thanks for allowing me to go and be a guest. And then hopefully at some point we can go and do this in the future in person. Fingers crossed. Because until then you have no idea if I'm wearing pants or not. So I'm just gonna sit back.
Wow. You know what? I'm impressed with every single one of you. You know that. And Miss James, especially you. We, I think, are part of something that I think could continue well beyond us, as long as we keep our wits about us, as long as we remember those who have come before, who have laid the groundwork creatively, people like Octavia E. Butler or Samuel R. Delaney. Those two names, you guys should definitely Google those names. Mr. Mike Pondsmith, who I talked about earlier. We need to figure out and remember and learn who these people are, because it's not like anyone outside of us is ever really going to do that. Okay. And pass that knowledge on to the next generation so that we can continue our advancements. We are in an incredible position during incredible times. And now it's time for us to stand up and act incredibly. So.
Seriously.
I just thank you for having me, even though I was late. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed listening to all the feedback you guys had to share with each other about just anime and representation in gaming community and things like that. Those are perspectives that I don't generally hear very often in the circles that I'm part of. So that was really fun to kind of hear and sit in and listen to. So thank you guys so much.
Great.
Just, I don't know, man. Just if you have an idea, move it forward. Take the next step, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. I mean, if the world really wants to be inclusive and they really want to include everybody, then everybody's voice should truly matter.
Mm-hmm.
Truly matter.
That's right.
So if you can't go to so-and-so and they can't give you the money, keep going. Create it yourself. Mm-hmm. Somebody is going to be interested. Create it yourself, no matter what it is. I don't care if you want to do a podcast about shoestrings. Do that, make that podcast about shoestrings the best shoestring podcast in the world. Somebody will hear it and somebody will share it. Just keep it going. I just hope that we can all everybody give me your information. I want us to continue this way past this, because I can't wait to get back up in that area so I can hang out with you guys again. Because I tell people all the time, I said, I want to move back I want to move to that area, because we have a little bit of that stuff here, but not like that. Like I said, Hawk brought me up there, man. I love that area. I love it, dude. Yeah. I'm definitely coming to any con that's coming up there anytime soon. I'll be there.
Tremendicon.
Thank you. Somebody send me a link. I'm coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You definitely need to be there.
Thank you so much for having me, though. For real.
Yeah.
Everyone here, you were so awesome. Dre, I think this is the first time you and I met.
Yeah.
Same with you. I'm so sorry we didn't get to talk more, but like Dre said, we'll all be talking more. Hawk, always a pleasure, man. Thank you for always thinking about me and having me on when you can. Keith, I know Keith for almost 20 years, man. He's just that dude. What can you say about Keith? He's like, that's that dude right there.
Thanks, money.
Love that guy, man. And I'm tired of thinking that everyone's younger. He's younger than me, because he's not. I'm actually younger than him. Just like, get that out there right now. I am not older than Will.
It's not that much.
It's the 90s, so I'm clearing it right now. Will is older than me.
That is true. That is true. I am older than you. I like that.
Wow. Well, I want to leave on this note. First of all, I want to thank all of my guests. You guys are all amazing. I make it seem like it was really hard to pull you guys together. It wasn't. It wasn't hard to pull these people together because they are amazing nerds. They're all very talented people. Being a Black nerd in this area, we make it seem easy because we've been doing it for so long and we've been doing it together. So why not do it that way? But on the same token, we are not just Black nerds. We're nerds. We are nerds in the best possible way. In the best possible way. I am proud of my Fanatics and the Fan family, Black, white, or otherwise. Yes, Will got a final thought. It was an empty one.
Oh, just making sure.
So on that note, I'm gonna leave you with this. If you want to understand, you really want to understand what we all go through, watch the new oh my God, I can't remember the name of the show now. Oh, Wonder Years. I'm sorry, watch the new Wonder Years with Dule Hill and his crew. Also another Michael B. Jordan project, although it's also Fred Savage as well. The young man in that is a much older version of all of us. And it's so parallel, it's a little scary, a little creepy. And I'm gonna leave you guys on that note. So for Keith, Will, Gary, Andre, and Kirsten, my name is Hawk, and this is Fanatics and the Fan.